Just want to express my deep reservations with this nominee and explain why I will be voting no, and appeal to my colleagues across the aisle to join me in trying to get relevant documents from this nominee from the Congressional Research Service. This is a nominee who was before the committee last September, I believe it was. We have a pattern from this nominee of stonewalling this committee, misleading this committee, and now she's doing the same with, frankly, very disturbing whistleblower accusations that came to us at the end of last week. I'm sorry, I think it's been almost 2 weeks ago now. Let me just refresh here the record. In September of last year, when the nominee first came before the committee, Senator Portman asked her a series of questions about her statements made on Twitter.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into a heated Senate hearing that's got everyone talking. Josh Hawley just shook things up, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. So what's the deal? Well, Senator Hawley has been relentless in his opposition to Colleen Shogan, the nominee for Archivist of the United States. According to Hawley, Shogan has been less than honest with the committee, particularly about her past conduct and social media activity. Here's where it gets juicy.
I just want to express my deep reservations with this nominee and explain why I will be voting no, and appeal to my colleagues across the aisle to join me in trying to get relevant documents from this nominee from the Congressional Research Service. This is a nominee who was before the committee last September, I believe it was. We have a pattern from this nominee of stonewalling this committee, misleading this committee, and now she's doing the same with, frankly, very disturbing whistleblower accusations that came to us at the end of last week. I'm sorry, I think it's been almost 2 weeks ago now. Let me just refresh here the record. In September of last year, when the nominee first came before the committee, Senator Portman asked her a series of questions about her statements made on Twitter. Senator Portman's staff had found these statements themselves. She had locked her Twitter account at some point when she was in the nomination process. They found her Twitter statements, which were highly partisan, I think highly inappropriate. She refused to answer Senator Portman's statements at the time, questions at the time. So I introduced a question for the record asking her to please give to us any Twitter statements she had ever made that had been available to the public. She refused, and she then said, do we have that board, guys? She then said the following in response to my question for the record. She said, my personal Twitter account is comprised of posts about my mystery novels, of which she's written several, events at the White House Historical Association, Pittsburgh sports teams, travels, and my dog. It was made private months ago before I was nominated as archivist. Now, we know from the Twitter post that Senator Portman found this is simply not true. It is not true that her posts are composed of comments about her mystery novels and so on and so forth. We know that they are composed of highly partisan statements. When I asked her about this, I gave her a chance to correct this testimony. She said she stood by it. I then asked her, I went post by post, where she criticizes former President Trump, where she criticizes members of the United States Senate, where she expresses highly partisan views, where she suggests that religious groups should not be able to put up religious symbols on federal property, which is, by the way, not in accordance with the Supreme Court case law. And in all of these, she then refused to answer my questions. Now listen, she's entitled to have her views. She can say whatever she wants, and she can say whatever she wants on Twitter. But what she cannot do is lie to this committee. And to say to this committee that her post consisted of this, when we know from Senator Portman's research that's not true, is simply false. That's point number one. Thank you, Vijay. Point number two is after that testimony, a whistleblower, former employee of Dr. Shogan, came forward to my office. We have a normal whistleblower procedure. I'm sure you all do. We followed that procedure. I think she came to us on a Friday. We sat down with her as quickly as we could.
Shogan claimed her Twitter activity was just lighthearted posts about mystery novels, sports, and her dog. But Hawley, he brought the receipts. He highlighted tweets where Shogan criticized political figures, questioned religious freedoms, and more. For Hawley, this wasn't just about personal opinions, it was about integrity, and it didn't stop there. When given the chance to clarify, Shogan doubled down on her previous statements. According to Hawley, this showed a blatant disregard for the truth. But wait, there's more. A whistleblower, a former colleague of Shogan, came forward with some explosive allegations. They claimed Shogan displayed partisan behavior, retaliated against employees, and even promoted her personal book during work hours on federal property. The whistleblower also revealed racially charged incidents that were reportedly ignored under Shogan's watch. Hawley argued these claims deserve a thorough investigation, and urged the committee to delay the final vote until all necessary documents were reviewed. And honestly, it's hard to argue against wanting more transparency here. Hawley's final appeal to the committee was simple. Let's pause the vote and get the full picture. He sent a formal request to the Congressional Research Service for key documents, but expressed frustration that these weren't provided sooner. Despite his push, the committee moved forward with the vote. So, what's next for Colleen Shogan's nomination? While the committee might move ahead, the questions raised today aren't going away anytime soon. Whether it's Hawley's pointed accusations, the whistleblower's claims, or the broader implications for government transparency, this story is far from over. What do you think? Should the committee have postponed the vote, or is this just politics as usual? Let me know your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next update. Catch you next time.